Next up, we have Ahim versus Nami. All right, again, I don't know much about Nami. All I know is Titus like hates Nami with a burning passion. So that's all I like. And of course, you can control the weather. But with Ahim doesn't really have like much like going for her in terms of like special powers and special like unique abilities, except for her, of course, being like the more like moral member of the team. And with that, she has like the reason why she joined the Gokaigers in the first place was to basically send the message that the fight goes on against the Zangak Empire. And Ahim is like more of the peacekeeper of the Gokaigers. She likes to talk things out. But with the Zangak Empire, that's like an instant no-go because she's like, you killed people on my home planet. Why the hell do I want to talk with you?
Yeah, she went rampage mode.
But Nami is not a Zangyak, and I'm pretty sure Ahim would see that. So instantly going into this, Nami would be ready to fight because Nami, that's just how she is. But Ahim is like, why do we gotta fight? Like why do we gotta? Like you're not affecting it.
I mean, I don't even think Nami would go for the fight specifically. She'd probably be trying to coax her out of her money because Nami is a thief and a money lover.
Nami is more like ready to fight though than Ahim is. Like Ahim is like more following, like Marvelous, basically saying, "Hey, yo, fight." Although there was like that one episode that was dedicated to Geki Ranger where her and Guy like took charge in the fight, like the final fight of the episode, and changed into Geki Ranger first, like that little scenario. So Ahim does charge in the battle first at times, but it's very rare. It has to be an Ahim focused episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Ahim is like more lenient and like not really wanting to fight, whereas Nami will just try to do anything. Like she's more ready, like on the nose to fight, and of course, her other friends are fighting these colorful pirates. She might as well join in the game. So with that, the fact that the other Gokaigers are fighting, they just start the fight too. So with that, again, gun, sword versus staff and weather powers.
Nami gets shot, she loses. I'm just saying, if Nami gets shot, that's this game over. She's like a normal human when it comes to durability. She's not the strongest. She uses more a setup character, or like run away and figure out a plan to win before taking the dub. She does come up close and personal, especially with her Mirage tempo, where she can create mirages of herself and like pretty much keep the enemy guessing where they are.
Does she have that by this time? Like in our hypothetical?
Yeah.
Okay.
She had it pretty early on. I think even during the Baroque's Works arc, which is right before Alabasta.
Well, if she could get shot, then like Ahim is pretty good with sword fight, like with sword play and gun play. Like she's pretty good with that. Like there were good amount of times in the episode where her would fight alongside each other, or her and Guy or Doc. Also, when I was talking about Geki Ranger, like the Geki Ranger episode, did I say Guy instead of Doc? Well, if I said Guy instead of Doc, I meant Doc and Ahim did the Geki Ranger shit. But there were a good few times during the episodes where Ahim would hold her own. Like she may be the quote unquote weakest of the team, but I think that's still Doc. I think Doc is still the weakest of the team based on like what we see of him. And again, I'm not trash piling on Doc. I love him, but in terms of like who has the better fighting spirit, Ahim definitely has a more fighting spirit than Doc. So in this case, I feel like Ahim would definitely aim for the gun, because like think about this. Every other time that the Gokaigers like start a fight, they instantly start firing their guns.
Yeah, they see them first and they're shooting.
Yeah, so unless Nami has like super like high reflexes where she can like deflect bullets with her bow staff, I'm not sure.
Nah, what's it called? It's usually when she's kind of going to use the environment to try to get away from stuff and like try to create mirages and like fake her location most of the time. But if like they're in an open field or something like that, because it is the desert and it's pretty hot, so if she tries to use her weather egg or like whatever to change the weather in particular and make it rain or whatever, she can use the environment to her advantage. But that's if you can catch her before then she's probably goner, because you don't want to get caught by a tornado, which it's literally her last ditch effort to try to attack the enemy. Or like if you miss with that, you lose. But she's a really good planner. She's kind of like Luca on that part, where she takes really high risks, but they always pay off. Because I think Nami is probably one of the smartest people in the show.
I'm pretty sure even though with Nami, like Nami would probably like have some tricks up her sleeve. Like, you know, obviously she can't do much with the weather, but like that would like greatly either like weaken or like cause a hindrance for her friends. But I feel like, you know, Nami would get some good hits in. Nami would have some, maybe she would like steal some of Luca's money, or no, not Luca, fucking, if Nami would probably steal some Ahim's gold if she has any, you know, just her extra added measure. And but I feel like the ultimate victor of this one will be like Ahim, because
you gotta be battle ready.
She has a gun.
Yeah, what's the call? She can handle people with like blades and stuff like that. She does have a staff, but a bullet moves way faster than a sword.
Yeah, so yeah, let's just move on. Ahim gets the W because of the fact he has a gun.
Yeah, gun equals win.
Mm-hmm. And that leaves us with 1 stalemate, 2 for Straw Hats, 2 for Gokaigers. And now we're at the final member. This is the second to last step that we're going in. So let's move on to Ikari Guy, Gokai Silver versus Frankie. I don't know anything about Frankie. So I'm just gonna talk about Guy. So anyway, you start first.
Okay, so Frankie, he is what's the word when you're like human, but like you have mechanical modifications to become what's called strong, and I think it's a cyborg, maybe.
Yeah.
Where Frankie is a really good engineer. He's the shipwright even. He's the one who builds the ship, makes the ship overpowered as crap. Kind of like what's called Doc, but like I'd say he's a better mechanic overall. He's really strong because he does have mech arms. He just swings and attacks. But if what's it called, you use any of your other one of their battalions or other vehicles that they use in their fights, then he could probably be what's it called, pistol fingers. Where he's like shoots. He usually focus on gun work, and like heavy strong attacks. And they have some versatility because they have like chains connected and you can stretch them out and stuff like that. But he's more of a, you're in his face, he's gonna attack you when you're up close. Guy is also a really good fighter though.
Guy is busted. Like, Guy does so much shit, like, in his first appearance. Again, he died, and through the will of Abada Killer, or White Dino Thunder Ranger, Time Fire, Quantum Ranger, and Dragon Ranger, or the Green Ranger, from Mighty Morphin, you know, for everyone who doesn't know the Japanese versions of the characters. From those 3 characters, the 3 characters that died in their Sentais basically said, hey, you're too reckless, but you have the heart of a hero. So we're just going to make you a Sentai hero. And he gets the 6 Ranger powers, and they are some of the most busted abilities of all time. And being a 6 Ranger himself, Guy is also very powerful because he starts off with super speed. Like, Guy just zooms in, and like the entire, like, his entire debut episode was like, basically the Gokaigers basically being like, who the hell is taking these guys out? And everyone's like, oh, it's a Silver Ranger. Hell? So Guy's literally zooming around the city, just killing Zanyak warriors. He's just killing, you know, goons all the time. And even with that, all Guy has to do is, and like in the episode where Doc and Guy had like a rival. That's such a hard word to say. Rivalry. You know, like because Doc thinks Guy is just simply better than him. He gets jealous from that. All Guy did to get a new power up was he just was like, oh, I don't know which one I have to choose. And the Sentai Rangers he just fused Go-On Gold and Go-On Silver to make Go-On Wings, or they were both Go-On Wings, but they made Guy is just simply busted. He just has to think and something just happens. And that's not just talking about his durability and his like use of his trident spear, like Gokai spear, right? Guy is not like Nami, because Guy also has speed to where he can just block bullets. You know, he did his little staff twirl like once or twice in the show. I know it's more than twice, but you know what I mean. It's just a figure of expression.
Yeah.
Guy also has some good usage of like and also Guy also has usage of you know, Guy probably like switches like Sentai powers like not more than the Gokaigers, but Guy definitely uses more Sentai powers than the other Gokaigers. The Gokaigers, the main 5 Gokaigers focus on their own strength, whereas Guy focuses on everything. Like, Guy focuses on every power that he can get his hands on. And I think with that, Guy would be the only Ranger in this team that would summon his own Megazord, like summon his own mecha. I feel like Guy seeing Frankie, who is a cyborg, would be like, so if I can't beat you in my human form, if I can't beat you here, I'll just beat my mech. Because Guy would just be that like he would just be that guy. So I don't know, like based on everything that Guy does, like in the base show, I have a strong feeling Guy's gonna win, unless Tao says something that makes me rethink everything, like he did with Joe versus Zoro. So go ahead, surprise me.
I would agree with you on this one. Yet I do want to give Frankie some credit, because like this is before he gets his own giant mech that he creates himself. But he does have yeah, he becomes a giant mech. But like this is before then, so he does have these pretty much you can shoot rockets at people, like rocket launcher shots, or like even blast them into the air through floor using wind. He uses enough wind power to even push the ship. What's it called? I don't think Frankie at this point would do anything against like Guy's mech, or like 15 powers in one shooting laser beams and stuff like that. He could probably handle like Guy base form, but if you go up transformation, I don't think he's winning.
And don't even get me started on gold mode. For those of you who don't know, gold mode is taking every 6 Ranger power and combining it into one ugly looking mode. Seriously, the gold mode in Gokaiger is like the ugliest looking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just it's a bunch of faces on a very flat piece of armor. I don't like it. It's such a bad mode. Out of all the modes you could design, like out of all the ideas that prosper from a single Ranger harnessing all the 6 Ranger powers, you come with, it's not even gold. He's still just silver. He just has gold armor. That doesn't make a gold. Anyway, rant aside, Gokai Silver can also summon gold mode. So if Guy really wanted, he could just go gold Kai Sirada, gold mode. It's like, I can't scream it because it's like 8 p.m. at night, and I don't know. But like, I don't know, just I don't see Frankie winning. Like with all the shit, I mean, man, I wish we got to the point where Frankie had his own mech, because we could have had like a mech on mech battle, because this fight is really like lacking a mech on battle, because the Straw Hats, not every single one of them can grow big, like up to mecha size. So I think
he can't grow that big, but he can inflate himself pretty large, or like he doesn't bring his whole entire body that size. But he usually just uses like one arm or the other arm, and just makes those giant one at a time.
So Luffy would just turn into one of those stretchy toys. Gotcha, cool. I don't know. It's like just with gold mode and Guy just like having his imagination just like prosper and just merging keys together, and like his extensive knowledge of like Sentai team, like all, and like his undying love for a good fight, even like he just wants to protect people. It's like he has no hate for Frankie. I'm like everyone else here, they don't hate him, especially Guy. Guy is just having the time of his life, and I think that's what makes Guy the victor here, because Guy is just having the time of his life. He's just out there doing all this random bullshit, and he's having fun. So he's taking being a Sentai Ranger to an extreme. So I can't even think of a full on fight for the. I mean, I can, but like I can't even like think of like a general like fair way to describe how Guy would win, because Guy's just, he would just throw everything at Frankie. I feel bad for him, man. Like shit.
I mean, the problem with that is that when you try to bring in like a specific form of Frankie, if it's a time period, other people are gonna be way stronger at that point. So it wouldn't be as fair because like it's after the time skip. So like if after a time skip, it's not fair.
Yeah, which this is probably the most unfair part of the fight. So
I mean, for the most part, it's the best time period for when most of the characters are around the same level.
For the people out there, this isn't biased. Tao's the one that chose this. Chao's the one that chose this time era.
And I love One Piece.
Don't blame me. I'm just going off based off the show. So anyway, we both in agreement of Guy.
Yeah, we're in agreement of Guy.
Gotcha. That's 3 for Gokaiger, 2 for Straw Hats, and 1 stalemate. And you want to get back to that stalemate? Let's finish off the video with a bang. Let's finish the Luffy versus Marvelous. Okay, so everyone finishes their fight. 2 for the Straw Hats, 3 for the Gokaigers, and Marvelous and Luffy have finished their fight in a stalemate.
Yeah, Luffy ran out of his timer.
And the Gokaigers group up. You know, 2 of them are weakened, maybe a little bit more. Marvelous is still out of his Ranger form, but I think you know where I'm going with this, Tal. But they have one more trick up their sleeve.
Final wave.
And Guy joins in too with his they get out the Gokai Galleon Buster, and of course they perform the final wave. Well, okay, it depends on like what finishing move we want. It's either we get the Gokai Galleon Blast, or like we get the Gokai Galleon Blaster, or we have the official final wave. But I think like for the 5, like for the 6 of them, they do the actual final wave because that's when Guy is there, because the Galleon Blaster is just 5 Rangers. So this time, yeah, the Rangers just pull out final wave. They group up, they get their keys. Of course, well, okay. This is where it gets a little confusing because Joe broke his and Doc's sword from his fight with Zoro. So we only have let's see, so that's 2 outs. That means we only have like 4. We have 3 swords and 1 spear. So it won't be it won't be as powerful as the final wave, like how it should be, but 3 swords and 1 spear. So now both would assume that since the Gokaigers are in one group, the Straw Hats would also be in a similar vicinity, kind of group-ish area. Like they'd both be like almost huddled together.
For the most part, I think since Usopp's not there, because I know Usopp usually like to like wander off to the side because he's a sniper. But like Nami and the rest, I think I'm gonna leave the people who already lost in the fight off to the side somewhere. I think the main competitors right now are probably Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, because everyone else took a L for the most part.
So, and with that, now you're the One Piece expert. So when the big 3 see a final wave coming their way, what's happening? How do you see it going out?
I can see Zoro trying to like cut through it or like deflect it some way with his blade. What's it called? Luffy can be trying to swing from the side or like move out the way. Sanji probably jumping over it and coming from above angle. Because I don't see the final wave because it is like a telegraphed attack, and unless someone's trying to block it like Zoro maybe, it's probably not gonna hit anyone. Unless someone tries to shoot them out the air when they're trying to because they shoot and then they swing. And then it's not like they can't, aim upward afterward.
I'm thinking since Joe and Doc are both out of the picture because both of their swords are basically decimated. They're both on the sidelines, like shooting people who are trying to like interfere. So like you said, Luffy would be coming in from the side. Like let's say Luffy comes right, and Sanji comes in from the top. So Joe would try to take out Sanji. Doc would try to take out depends on like where the Rangers normally stand, because like you know how in the show they have a specific way of standing. So in Guy's case, Guy is more closer to the right and Luffy's coming from the right. So Doc is closer to the right, so Doc would try to aim for Luffy, and Joe is more closer to is to Marvelous's left, so he'd be trying to go after Sanji top. So that's the little scenario we got now.
And I'd even say that maybe a Robin can be trying to help by like trying to hold people in position, like grabbing their feet from underneath and keeping them steady. Or maybe Nami could be trying to shock people with lightning by sending fucking clouds over their head. So they pretty much got a lot of things to look at once. That's what makes it kind of tricky. But I don't think anyone's taking an L from like a Nami lightning bolt. At least not at this point. She'd have to have a more ample time to even set that up. So it's probably be a small spark or whatever. Not spark, but like maybe like a one move to like stop you for a second, like a stunning move instead.
Which I feel like that would probably. I don't think it would like affect Doc all that much, but I feel like it would. I feel like it would probably like shock him a bit, like it would like startle him a bit, but like still I feel like Doc would be mildly successful in aiming for Luffy, because Doc could still aim and fight good. It's just that he's not the best one. So
I mean, if you're shooting at Luffy, then that's a problem already, because like unless it's like magical beam bullets or whatever, then pellets get reflected or bounced back at people.
Okay, so shit. So okay.
And that's specifically with Luffy, though.
Okay, yeah. And that would be the thing, too, because, like, I mean, imagine it. Because Marvelous is too focused on the final wave. So Marvelous is focused on the final wave, and he can't just yell. I mean, he could probably just yell back, like, hey, yo, Doc, don't shoot at Luffy. But at this point, Doc is already shooting at Luffy, so it's kind of too late for that. So we're just gonna have to deal with Doc shooting at Luffy and Marvelous focusing on the final wave. So we got that.
I think Luffy would probably deflect it. Not like send it back, but more like send it into the air or some other different location to make it more realistic.
So at that point, yeah, Luffy is coming in from the side, coming in from the right. Doc's bullets are useless against him. Sanji, like you said, Sanji doesn't, get impaled by bullets, but feels it, but that still doesn't stop him. He is a one-man army, much like everyone else. Well, out of the big three, that is. And the best thing, and Zoro is taking this in like a champ, like he's holding back the final wave.
Yeah, he's probably stopping that altogether, because he can't cut through anything for the most part.
So I think the best way that this fight ends is just a big ass explosion.
Yeah.
Because in the show, trying to negate a final wave leads to an explosion.
Yeah, it is an explosion.
Or getting hit by a final wave, it results in an explosion. Explosion happens, and everyone's down for the count. So I think it would. Well, I mean, depends on who would get up first, though. But that's also very hard because both Straw Hats and Gokaigers have semi-similar durability, so they would both get up very pained and very bruised, but they would still, they'd still be tanks. So
I think we do like a number count thing, because originally more of the Gokaigers won. I'd say maybe we can have the Gokaigers win this one because they had more winners from the very beginning.
I suppose so. Like in terms of individuals, the Gokaigers would win, but in terms of a all-out team brawl, in this all 6 of them facing off against at least the big 3 of them, it would turn out to be that's the best way that I can explain it. But in terms of an all-out brawl with a final stalemate. So yeah, I don't really have any other way to end the fight. I'm closing my notebook. I'm closing that. That's that. So yeah, any final statement to make on that, Mr. Sir?
Just remember, this is Annie's lobby, not anywhere past that. We're just making it as fair as possible. Yep. Guy definitely winning. I could see explosion knocking out most characters, to be honest. Even though Sanji has a stronger durability, I'm sure explosion can knock him out because he's not insanely broken. Because even Zoro and Sanji usually fight together, and it's not like Sanji has an overpowering welcome over him because Zoro can cut through steel or whatever, and it's iron. So I'm saying explosion can knock out Sanji.
So at that point, we got 4 Straw Hats out.
What's it called? Luffy?
All right, Gokaigers win. I knew it. Sentai anime bullshit. Yeah.
Sentai rules supreme.